Haarlem, Netherlands, 1943, a quiet city under occupation. Bicycles moving through narrow streets. German boots echoing in the distance. A teenage girl pedals slowly past a public park. Her hair is braided neatly into pigtails. She looks young, innocent, unimportant. A woman sits alone on a wooden bench, waiting. The girl stops, smiles politely, steps closer. She asks a simple question. What is your name? The woman answers that name matches a resistance list. A list of Jews' names, addresses, families marked for death. The girl reaches into her bicycle basket, pulls out a pistol, looks the woman directly in the eyes and pulls the trigger. One shot, no scream, no warning. The woman collapses. The girl gets back on her bicycle and rides away like nothing happened. Her name is Freddy Oversteiggan. She is 16 years old. The woman she killed was not a soldier. She was a collaborator, a Dutch citizen preparing to hand hundreds of innocent people to the Nazis. That single bullet saved lives, men, women, children, by the end of the war. And her sister Truus Oversteiggan would seduce Nazi officers, lure them into forests and execute them in silence. They would shoot men from moving bicycles on doorsteps in the streets. They would sabotage railways, smuggle Jewish children to safety, and refuse one order that would have turned them into monsters. They were teenagers, they were assassins, and they were real. This is not a movie. There is no glory here. This is the true story of two girls who learned how to kill and fought every day to remain human while doing it. Haarlem, Netherlands, 1940, a small Dutch city, quiet on the surface, occupied underneath. German flags hang from buildings, boots march on cobblestone streets, orders shouted in a foreign language. Fear settles into everyday life. Freddy Oversteiggan is 14 years old. Her sister Truus is 16. They live with their mother Truus Oversteiggan in a tiny apartment. Cold rooms, straw-filled mattresses, very little food, almost no privacy, yet the door is never fully closed. People come and go quietly. Some stay 4 nights, some disappear before sunrise. Jewish families fleeing Germany. Political fugitives hunted by the Nazis, strangers whose real names are never spoken, allowed. Freddy and Truus grow up sharing beds with people they barely know, learning early that safety is something you give away to protect others. Their mother Truus is a communist, but more than that, she is a woman who believes one thing deeply: if you see injustice, you act. No speeches, no slogans, just action. Before the war, the girls make dolls for children suffering in the Spanish Civil War, tiny cloth figures stitched by hand sent to places they will never see. Comfort is never the priority. Doing the right thing is. May 10, 1940. Nazi Germany invades the Netherlands. Dutch army resists for 5 days, then surrenders. Occupation begins immediately. German soldiers flood the streets. Posters appear overnight. New rules, new curfews, new reasons to be afraid. Freddy remembers the sound: first rifle butts smashing into doors, shouting echoing through entire neighborhoods. Families dragged out of their home sphere becomes normal, but the Oversteiggan household does not retreat. Instead, the resistance begins, hiding more people. The girls help without asking questions. That is not enough. Freddy and Truus start distributing illegal newspapers, anti-Nazi pamphlets, messages printed in secret. At night, they ride their bicycles through the city, paste in their pockets, paper under their coats. They cover German propaganda with resistance slogans. The Netherlands must be free. Do not go to Germany. For every Dutch worker sent to Germany, a German soldier is freed for the front. They work fast, hearts pounding, listening for footsteps. If caught, they would be shot, but they are never caught. To teenage girls on bicycles, who would ever suspect them? In 1941, a man knocks on their door. His name is Franz Vander, real commander of the Haarlem Council of Resistance. He has heard about the Oversteiggan family, the mother who hides refugees, the daughters who spread illegal material. He asks a direct question: can your daughters join the resistance? Freddy is 14. Truus is 16. Their mother does not hesitate, as the girls do not hesitate either. But Franz is cautious. The resistance cannot afford mistakes. A few days later, he returns, this time in disguise. A Gestapo officer, gun drawn, shouting in German, demanding to know where a Jewish man is hiding. Freddy and Truus believe it is real. They do not speak. They do not give names. They fight, kicking, hitting, screaming, refusing to betray anyone, even if it costs their lives. Then Franz stops, reveals the truth. It was a test they passed. He tells them what joining truly means: sabotage, espionage, weapons training. Eventually, killing. Truus looks at Freddy. Freddy smiles, something she has never done before they leave. Their mother gives them one instruction: always stay human. The girls are taken to an underground potato shed hidden beneath farmland. In the dark, they learn to handle weapons, how to aim, how to stay calm, how to suppress fear. They are taught quietly, methodically, no speeches, no heroics. Their first mission is not killing, it is fire. Nazi warehouses need to burn, but they are guarded by German soldiers. Freddy and Truus are sent forward. They approach the guards, laugh, smile, flirt. Teenage girls asking harmless questions while the soldiers are distracted. Other resistance members slip inside. Moments later, flames rise into the night. The girls ride away on their bicycles unnoticed. Franz understands what they are capable of. They can go where men cannot. They can get close, They can disappear, their innocence is a weapon and, soon they will be asked to use it fully. Harlem 1942 occupation tightens its grip. New rules arrive without warning, curfews become stricter, food grows scarcer. Fear grows heavier. Freddy and Truus are no longer just messengers. They are now part of something deeper, more dangerous. Resistance expands quietly, cells hidden inside cities, villages, forests. Each group knows little about the others. If one falls, the rest must survive. Freddy becomes a scout. She memorizes streets, alleyways, escape routes, safe houses. She learns which roads are watched, which corners are blind, which neighbors ask too many questions. Truus becomes the decision-maker, calm under pressure, sharp-minded, able to act without hesitation. Their youth continues to protect them. German soldiers glance at them, then look away. Just girls, just bicycles. That illusion saves lives. The resistance begins to notice something important. These girls can get closer than anyone else. They are sent on missions designed around that fact. Not sabotage, not pamphlets, who wear smiles in public and betray neighbors in private. Collaborators, Dutch citizens who trade information for money, for power, for safety. They compile lists, names, addresses, families. Those lists lead to knockings at night, to empty homes, to trains that never returned. The resistance cannot arrest them. There is no court, no prison, no system left. There is only one option. Freddy receives her first assignment. Alone, she does not sleep the night before. She lies awake listening to bicycles passing outside, wondering if tomorrow she will still be the same person. Morning comes anyway. She dresses simply, braids her hair, places something heavy into her bicycle basket. This city feels different that day. Sharper, quieter. In a small park, a woman sits on a bench. She looks ordinary, respectable, safe. Freddy circles once, then stops. She asks a question, her voice steady. The name confirms everything. What happens next takes seconds, but stays forever. Freddy rides away, hands shaking, chest tight. Her first instinct is not relief or pride, is regret, a reflex to help even though she cannot. That instinct never leaves her when she tells Truus. There are no celebrations, no words of praise, only silence and understanding. They both know there is no turning back. After that, the missions, change bars, taverns, places where German officers relax, laughter, music, drinks. Truus walks in first, confident, charming. She talks, laughs, listens. She asks a question that sounds harmless. Would you like to go for a walk? The answer is always yes. Forests become meeting places, paths that lead away from witnesses. Freddy waits where shadows are thick, timing everything. A sound, a movement, then silence. Again bicycles waiting nearby. They leave nothing behind. No notes, no symbols, just absence. Time, speed matters more than secrecy. They ride together, one pedaling, one watching. A figure appears ahead, a face recognized. They pass, a movement. Then they are gone. People turn, but see nothing. Just two girls on a bicycle inside the resistance. Their reputation grows, reliable, precise, untraceable, but inside themselves. The weight grows too. They talk less, sleep less. Truus keeps count in her head. Freddy refuses to. Some numbers should never be known. Despite everything, there are lines they will not cross. An order comes one day, delivered quietly. Children are meant to leverage pressure. Freddy says no immediately. Truus agrees. They have killed, they will kill again, but never children, not even enemies. Children, that line is not negotiable. The resistance does not argue or demands monsters, but not from them outside. The occupation continues inside. Two teenage girls grow older far too quickly, and the war is only getting worse. 1943, the war enters a different phase. The resistance grows bolder, so does the danger. Raids become more frequent, arrests more brutal. People disappear faster. Freddy and Truus understand one thing clearly: survival now depends on speed, silence, and precision. Mistakes are fatal. They change routines constantly, never using the same path twice, never stopping in the same place, never trusting patterns. Freddy maps the city in her head, every alley, every bridge, every blind corner. She knows where bicycles can vanish, where shadows protect, where silence is deepest. Ruse becomes harder, not cruel, just focused. Decisions are made quickly. There is no room for hesitation. One evening, a new name enters their world. Hanny Schaff. She is older, calmer, different. She comes from a middle-class family. Her father is a school teacher. She was studying law, planning a future built on justice. The future ended the day she refused to sign a loyalty oath to the occupiers. She is expelled, watched, marked. Instead of going home, she joins the resistance. Hanny is tested like everyone else, given a weapon, sent toward a target. Her hands shake, her breath catches. She pulls the trigger. Nothing happens. It is a test. The weapon is empty. She passes. When Freddy and Truus meet her, they recognize something immediately. This woman thinks before she moves. Hanny becomes the planner, the one who studies patterns, timetables, habits. Truus leads Freddy scouts. Hanny calculates. Together, they form a unit unlike any other. Become cleaner, faster, more controlled. They sabotage rail lines, delaying transports, confusing schedules. They move children at night across borders, through fields and forests. False papers, new names, new lives. Some missions leave no visible trace. Others leave only questions. The occupiers notice patrols. Increased checkpoints appear overnight. Posters go up, warnings, threats. Descriptions begin to circulate. Chung female. On bicycles, Hanny becomes the most recognizable. Her red hair draws attention. She dies. It darker, wears glasses, changes clothing, but she does not slow down one afternoon. Truus witnesses something that breaks something inside Harris Street. A family, a child, a uniformed local enforcer grabs an infant. The parents scream, the sister freezes. Child is killed against a wall. There is no order, no plan. Truus stops, turns, acts when the sound fades. The street is silent. Later, she will say, some things do not require permission. From that day, the line becomes clearer. They are not killing for revenge, not for hatred. They are cutting away something poisonous inside. The resistance debate grows. What is acceptable? What is necessary? And order arrives. One night, children are mentioned again, this time names. Details. The goal is leverage. Freddy listens, then stands. Not Truus backs her immediately. Hanny agrees. They refuse. They have crossed many lines, but not that one. The order is withdrawn. Outside their cell, others may choose differently. They will not. By now, Hanny has hunted. Her description spreads whispers. Follow the girl with the red hair. She knows time is running out, but continues anyway because stopping would mean surrender. The three women keep moving, keep fighting, but the net is tightening and somewhere, someone is watching. 1944, the war is heavier now. The streets of Harlem are darker, checkpoints more frequent, the fear in people's eyes sharper. The resistance has become a shadow moving silently, never visible but always there. Freddy and Truus continue their work, but every mission carries more weight. The cost is higher, the risk is greater. They no longer ride just for speed. They ride to survive, to protect, to save lives that would be lost otherwise. Hanny's presence changes the dynamic. Her calm mind and sharp calculations make operations almost flawless. They move through the city like ghosts, bicycles carrying secrets instead of letters. Footsteps disappearing before anyone notices. The three of them begin to coordinate larger operations. Rail lines targeted to delay deportation trains. Jewish children moved across borders under cover of night. False documents forged and hidden. Families given new identities. Every mission requires absolute precision. A single mistake means death or, worse, capture of friends and innocent civilians. They develop techniques that are uniquely theirs, sometimes alone, sometimes together. One sister distracts the target, flirts, laughs, appears harmless. The other waits in the shadows, timing the shot or guiding the escape. Sometimes speed is the weapon, cycling past a target, a brief glimpse, then gone into the streets. The forest becomes their most trusted ally. Dense trees, hidden trails, no witnesses. The world ends at the tree line. They are ghosts. Disappearances become rumors, names never spoken. Hanny becomes a target herself. Her red hair noticed, her features remembered. Posters appear. Enemies look for her. Even those who trust her now fear her survival. She changes appearance constantly, dyed hair, glasses, clothing, yet she continues relentlessly. The sisters are tested in ways no 16 or 14-year-old should ever face. Death around every corner. Every mission carries consequences. Every choice could be the last. Truus witnesses horrors that will never leave her. The sight of an infant killed by a local enforcer. No orders, no plan, just cruelty. She acts immediately without hesitation. Justice administered in a heartbeat, and the world continues, unaware. Unmoved. Orders from the resistance grow more complicated, sometimes requiring moral choices, sometimes testing the limits of their humanity. A mission arrives involving leverage through children. Freddy and Truus refuse immediately. No debate, no hesitation. They will not cross that line. They continue their work, steadfast, efficient, human house. The occupation grows harsher. Every street, a potential trap. Every face, a threat inside. The three young women carry weight that most cannot imagine. The lives they save, the lives they end, the secret missions, the fear that never sleeps. The city holds its breath, waiting, watching, and somewhere their enemies are planning, hunting, waiting. The line between life and death, innocence and experience has never been thinner. And every day, the three of them ride bicycles through cobblestone streets, past checkpoints, into darkness, into danger, into history. 1944, the war tightens its grip on Harlem. Checkpoints multiply, patrols grow heavier. Every street corner feels like a trap. Freddy and Truus have learned to move like shadows. The city is mapped in their minds. Every blind spot, every alley, every safe corner. They know which streets are watched, which paths are deadly, which neighbors are silent. Witnessers. Hanny's presence sharpens their strategy. Her mind calculates risk with precision. They move like a unit, almost unseen, yet fully aware of danger around them. Operations escalate. Rail lines are sabotaged. Trains carrying deportation victims are delayed. Jewish children are smuggled across borders at night. False documents forged in candlelit apartments. Safe houses maintained under constant threat. Teach mission is a test of humanity, a balance between survival and moral boundaries. The sisters have crossed lines many would not. Yet certain things remain untouchable. Children are never harmed. The innocent are always protected. One evening, a new mission arrives. High stakes, high risk. A Dutch collaborator with a list of names and addresses must be stopped. The list could lead to the deaths of hundreds of people. Freddy is chosen for the task. She prepares, quietly braids her hair, checks her bicycle, ensures the pistol is hidden yet accessible. The target is in a small public park, a woman sitting alone on a bench. Freddy circles the area quietly assessing timing. Every step the woman appears ordinary, safe, trustworthy, but Freddy knows better. She approaches slowly, calmly, innocent pigtails. Swaying, she asks a simple question. The woman answers. Freddy confirms the identity. Seconds pass. The pistol is drawn, a single shot. Then silence. Freddy mounts her bicycle pedals. Away, hands trembling, heart racing, regret and relief mixing together. She cannot celebrate, cannot speak. The line between life and death is forever etched in her mind from that day. The missions become more refined: bars, taverns, social gatherings where German officers relax. Truus distracts, laughs, flirts, appears harmless. Hanny and Freddy wait silently in shadows. Timing and patience are their weapons. The forest becomes a sanctuary, paths hidden from all. Every shot calculated, every escape pre-planned. Bodies leave no trace. Rumors are all that remains. Sometimes speed is the key, cycling past a target. A quick glance, a trigger pulled, then nothing but the sound of tires. On cobblestone, the sisters carry the weight of every life taken, every life saved. The fear is constant, yet they remain human. They cry in silence. They mourn privately. Henny becomes a marked target. Red hair, noticed features, remembered posters, and wanted notices circulate, yet she continues, disguises herself, alters appearance. Never slowing down, they are ghosts in the city, silent protectors, efficient, deadly, yet unwilling to become monsters. Others arrive that test them further, using leverage. Through children they refuse immediately, no hesitation. They will not cross that line, even the resistance cannot sway them outside. The occupation intensifies, fear grips the streets, families vanish. Bicycles glide through shadows. 2 girls and 1 red-haired woman move unseen. Every mission carries a cost, every action leaves scars, but they continue because lives depend on them. Because innocence must be preserved, the city watches, waiting, hunting, but cannot catch them. Man, somewhere, the line between heroism and horror blurs. Yet the sisters remain human, even as the war rages on. 1945, the Netherlands is on the brink of liberation. Allied forces push forward, German forces tighten their grip in desperation. Every street becomes a battlefield of fear and silence. Freddy and Truus move like ghosts. Every mission more dangerous than the last. The city has changed, checkpoints are everywhere. Random searches, neighbors fearful, and the resistance is stretched. Thin Hanny's red hair has become a curse. She is the most wanted in Harlem, posters, plaster walls. The girl with the red hair, dead or alive, reward offered. She dies at black glasses obscure her eyes, disguises clothing, yet every mission continues. 3 women are now operating at the edge. Every step measured, every glance calculated, every heartbeat. Aware of imminent danger, their targets are no longer just collaborators. High-ranking officials, men responsible for deportations, those whose orders sent hundreds to death. They mission arrives with impossible stakes, kidnap a high-ranking officers. Children use them as leverage or eliminate them if the officer refuses. Freddy and Truus refuse immediately, no hesitation, no debate. They will not touch children, even the children of enemies. Orders are rescinded. But the weight of war presses heavier each day, brings new horrors each night. The city whispers of witnesses atrocities that will haunt her forever. A Dutch SS soldier lifts an infant. The parents scream. The child is smashed against a wall. Death instant and merciless. Truus acts without plan, without hesitation. She shoots the soldier right there. Middle of the street. No one can intervene. No orders required. Justice is swift, yet horror lingers. Hanny continues to operate under disguise. Every mission sharper, every escape more calculated, but the walls are closing and the city is no longer safe. Night, she is stopped at a checkpoint carrying illegal newspapers and a pistol. Interrogated, tortured, solitary confinement. The red hair begins to grow from the roots. The officers recognize her. She admits to her acts, but never names a single member of the resistance. Not Freddy, not Truus, not anyone. Weeks pass. The war is nearly over. Allied forces advancing, liberation close. Yet some enemies refuse to honor ceasefires. Execution orders arrive. Hanny Shaft is targeted to Dutch collaborators assigned as executioners. The dunes of Oversteiggan, a place of hundreds of graves. They take her there, shoot her. First bullet grazes. Second finishes, red hair still visible above the sand. She is buried, shallow, a single woman among hundreds of men, a symbol of resistance. Yet she dies alone. Freddy and Truus survive, live on through the liberation. Yet the world ignores them for decades. Communist ties make them suspicious in post-war Netherlands. They are sidelined, forgotten. Unhana Red Truus copes through art memorials. To the resistance, Freddy builds a family, yet neither escapes memories. Insomnia, nightmares, remembrance day awakens, dread questions about the lives they took, they never answer. Some burdens are carried alone. Finally, in 2014, Dutch Prime Minister invites them to a ceremony. Mobilization War Cross awarded. Freddy, 1809, Truus, 91. Recognition after 16 years. Streets named, documentaries made, books published. But decades of silence remain. The sisters' story is of youth stolen, of humanity preserved amid monstrosity, of choices made with clarity, of lives saved at great personal cost. Truus dies in 2016, 92. Freddy dies in 2018, a day before 93. Red roses left at Hanny's grave, a tribute to the friend who never saw liberation. Their mother's lesson echoes always stay human, even when the world demands otherwise. Even when killing becomes survival, even when the line between heroism and horror blurs, they remained human. Post-war Netherlands, the streets of Haarlem are quiet now, the Nazi banners are gone. Checkpoints dismantled, yet the scars of occupation remain, buildings ruined, families torn, and memories etched deep into every corner. Freddy and Truus emerged from the shadows, survivors yet changed. Time has passed, but their minds carry decades of ghosts. Every mission, every life taken, every life saved, haunts them silently. Recognition is slow, the country ignores them, communist ties overshadow heroism, they are treated with suspicion, their sacrifices unnoticed. The world moves on as if the past can be erased. Truus turns to art memorials and sculptures. Her work tells stories the world refuses to hear. She writes memoirs, shares cautiously, never glorifying. Always remembering, always human. Freddy chooses another path. Marriage, children, a family, normalcy, attempted yet nightmares intrude. Insomnia and dread mark every Remembrance Day. She never speaks of the exact number, never apologizes. Some things are not for the world to know. For decades they remain silent, their deeds hidden, their courage unacknowledged, yet they carry their humanity intact, even after killing, even after witnessing atrocities. Even after the world forgot. Finally, in 2014, Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte invites them to a ceremony. The Mobilization War Cross awarded Freddy 1809, Truus 91. For the first time in 69 years, someone says thank you. Streets in Haarlem, named in their honor. Documentaries and books tell their story, yet even then the memory of Hannie Schaft lingers. The red-haired friend who did not survive. Freddy visits Hannie's grave. Red roses left in tribute, the wind moves the petals. A silent acknowledgement of a life lost, of friendship, of courage, of humanity preserved against impossible odds. The sisters, mothers, words echo in their minds, always stay human, even in war. Even when survival demands darkness, even when death walks beside you, even when the lines between hero and monster blur. Freddy and Truus lived. Freddy until 92, Truus until 94. There lives a testament to choices made and to humanity maintained, where most would falter. The world remembers slowly late, but they lived with the weight of history. With courage, with morality, with love, with humanity intact. The Netherlands is free. The war is over. The girls who rode bicycles, who killed to save, who refused to murder children, they are remembered at last, not for the acts of violence, but for the lives they preserved, for the humanity they refused to lose, for the quiet, relentless courage of two teenage girls who decided some things were worth killing for and everything worth dying for.